In the war between the Autobots and Decepticons, some Transformers specialize in espionage, such as the Autobot scout Bumblebee.
Since I'm the smallest, I have the best chance of getting through. I'll stick that bomb right under their nose gear.
And the Decepticon communications officer, Soundwave.
Initiate brain scan.
With the introduction of rub symbols came the mini-spies,
The Decepticon! After him!
which were small motorized transformers that came packaged with the mini-bots in 1985. These probably served as inspiration to the double spy transformer, Punch, or his alter ego, Counterpunch.
You can trust me, Rodimus! You can trust me, Galvatron!
Consider supporting the channel on Patreon, becoming a channel member, or purchasing some merch on my Teespring store today. In 1987, the Transformers franchise began introducing new concepts into the brand, including Headmasters and Target Masters. Among these new toys was the Autobot Punch, who in addition to having a generic blue sports car for an alternate mode, could transform into a second robot mode, the Decepticon Counterpunch.
Introducing the Transformer Double Spy. From a supercar, he can transform into a heroic Autobot or an evil Decepticon.
His profile, as written by Bob Budiansky, states that Punch transforms into Counterpunch to infiltrate enemy installations. Letting few know about his true self, he keeps a cool head and is a robot of few words. As his toy was being developed, Punch's face was slightly different from his final design, which probably explains why his US animation model had a mouth instead of a faceplate. Unfortunately, Punch and his Decepticon counterpart were notably absent from the Marvel comics. However, an in-depth and expanded profile, once again written by Bob Budiansky, came in issue 71 in 1990. The profile explained that the reason Punch keeps a cool head and stays quiet is because he's paranoid that one of his fellow Autobots is actually a Decepticon double agent. As Counterpunch, he takes on a bad-tempered persona that is so convincingly ruthless that he was even put in charge of the Decepticon intelligence network as he gathers information on the Autobots. Unaware that any change is taking place, the bio states that Punch actually suffers a form of multi-personality disorder when he transforms into Counterpunch. The great fear being that Counterpunch may one day take full control in betrayal of the Autobots. His first appearance in the US cartoon was in the show's three-part fourth and final season, The Rebirth. Voiced by John Moschitta Jr., Punch disguised himself as Counterpunch to find out what the Decepticon clones, Pounce and Wingspan's mission was.
Galvatron told me to check up on you.
Beat it, Counterpunch! We don't need your help!
Fine, you deal with my Autobot counterpart. I've heard he's nearby. Real nearby.
Unfortunately, Punch was unsuccessful in stopping them as they stole the key to the plasma energy chamber.
Oh no. Punch, are you alright?
Ignoring the events of the Rebirth, the Japanese continuity continued with their own exclusive series, the Headmasters. Introduced as Scorponok's intelligence informant, Counterpunch was able to give intel on the Autobots, much to the chagrin of Sound Blaster and his team of cassettes. However, this was, of course, his cover, as Counterpunch returned to Autobot headquarters, transforming back into Punch to inform Fortress Maximus of the Decepticons' plans. Unlike the US animation model, Punch and Counterpunch closely resembled his toy with a faceplate as Punch and a mouth on Counterpunch. Punch remained in deep cover among the Decepticons as Counterpunch, keeping the Autobots informed behind enemy lines. Most notably, Punch was able to find out Galvatron's weak point, and he broke his cover to inform the Autobot Headmasters. Fortunately, Punch's secret died with Galvatron. As Counterpunch returned to the Decepticon ranks when Scorponok took command. And there he still tried to gather intel for the Autobots. Like the Marvel Comics, Punch and Counterpunch have been mostly absent from many forms of Transformers media over the years, with some exceptions like his Dreamwave Comics profile, which echoed his Marvel Comics bio about his split personality. However, the Transformers Collectors Club hoped to bring the character back into prominence with a new toy in 2010 as part of their subscription service. The toy was remolded from 2008's Universe Sideswipe and Sunstreaker, since their toys were designed so that they could both be transformed into each other's robot modes. The only tie-in media for this toy was for BotCon 2010's commercial produced by Randall Eng and Dr. Smooth.
Punch, what did you find out? Prime, the Decepticons are headed to BotCon.
The design of the toy also served as the inspiration of the Predacon Wolfang, who could disguise himself as a Maximal in the tech stories of Beast Wars Uprising. Another Collectors Club toy in 2017 was a remold of Combiner Wars Wheeljack as the Decepticon Counterpunch. Lacking the ability to transform into Punch, Counterpunch was part of the subscription service's Combiner Wreckage. The tie-in tech story expanded upon his Marvel Comics bio, stating that the Autobot Punch was once an actor from Harmonix, and that his transformation cog, in a similar fashion to Triple Changers, was special, allowing him to assume a second robot mode as Counterpunch. However, taking on both roles had left Punch suffering from blackouts as his alter ego of Counterpunch began taking over as the dominant personality. Not wanting to allow harm to happen to his fellow Autobots, Punch let his secret be known to the Decepticons, who in turn returned that knowledge with deadly results. Using the minds of Punch and Counterpunch together, Impactor repaired the Double Spy with only one robot mode, Counterpunch. The newly rebuilt Transformer joined Impactor's new team of Wreckers, who could merge with Toxitron to stop the rampage of the Combiner Thunder Mayhem. While Punch and Counterpunch may not have appeared in many Transformers series, he did inspire many other side-switching double agents, such as the Power Master Double Dealer in Generation 1, the fully organic transforming Noble Savage in Beast Machines, Unicron's Pawn Sideways in the Unicron trilogy, and even Shockwave's disguise as Long-Arm Prime in Transformers Animated. Even Mirage uses Electro Disruptor to disguise himself as a Decepticon in the War for Cybertron trilogy's Siege cartoon.
What was that?
However, Punch was finally added to the Marvel Comics continuity in the Regeneration 1 comics. His ability to transform into Counterpunch protected him from being affected by Scorponok's Gene Key. A new prequel series, titled Transformers 84 Secrets and Lies, saw Punch narrate his involvement in the war as he rose in the ranks of the Decepticons as Counterpunch. Despite the atrocities he had to commit, Punch was still loyal to the Autobot cause as he, under Optimus Prime's orders, did everything he could to prevent the Ark from being discovered by the Decepticons. A brand new toy was released in 2017 during the Power of the Primes toy line as an Amazon exclusive. Once again able to transform into both robot modes, Punch and Counterpunch unfortunately had no tie-in media to accompany him. However, as part of the War for Cybertron trilogy's series of Galactic Odyssey sets, re-released a slightly redecoed Punch and Counterpunch in a 2-pack with the Decepticon Barricade, who was also a redeco of Earthrise Smokescreen. According to the storyline told in promotional material, Megatron has found out that Counterpunch is in fact Punch in disguise as he sends Barricade out to destroy him. Whether or not this story will be told in the War for Cybertron cartoon on Netflix or any other Transformers series, we'll have to wait and see. Despite his sporadic appearances in the franchise, some fans have wondered if the Autobot Punch was actually the disguise for the Decepticon Counterpunch, especially considering that his expanded bio talked about his split personality disorder. However, it also mentions that the Autobots were fitted with a dampering device that reduces the damage taken from Counterpunch's weapon. While his split personality disorder did become an issue in the comics published by Fun Publications, The recent Secrets and Lies comic has stated that despite the atrocities that he had to commit as Counterpunch, Punch was in full control of his actions. After all, as Punch states, war is a dirty business, and no one comes out clean. But what do you think? Is the Autobot Punch truly an Autobot, or is he actually the Decepticon Counterpunch? And should there be some more spy-type characters like Punch and Counterpunch in future Transformers series?
Time for me to do a little spying of my own as a Decepticon.
Leave your thoughts in the comments section below. And if you like this video, be sure to thumbs up and subscribe. I'd like to thank my patrons and my channel members for your continued support. I have many more Transformers discussions and retrospectives like this one coming soon, so stay tuned. And as always, until next time, till all are one.
Never! Death to Lanark!
Not if the takes his dives first!